This is a second stimulus check update. In this video, we'll go over how Mike Pence says the White House still wants to send second stimulus checks, how President Trump says he wants to use a leftover of $300 billion in COVID relief funds to send out second stimulus checks without the approval of Congress, then also which parents in this state are going to receive more cash, and they're going to get $335 if they have children under 17 years old. I hope you're having a great day so far. Let's get right into it. So Steve Mnuchin and Nancy Pelosi finally agree on one thing, and that's to avoid a government shutdown. So what they agreed on is that they're going to keep these stimulus negotiations separate from the government funding negotiations, which are due by September 30th. Usually, if the government can't come to an agreement on funding by September 30th, that's when we have government shutdowns. So now they're just keeping the stimulus negotiations separate from that. Even Mike Pence confirms this, saying that the White House and Congress have reached this type of agreement. And what he also says is now we can focus just on another relief bill, and we're continuing to do that in good faith. So I find this relatively good news, but it also shows the poor state of affairs that our government is in when we're celebrating the fact that we're not going to have a government shutdown. That should basically be stating the obvious. It's almost like me cooking for my family and saying, hey, this food I made for you is not going to give you food poisoning. It really should be stating the obvious. Let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. Is this good news, bad news, or should this just be stating the obvious? I'm curious what you think. Moving on, the Senate Republicans are having a tough time on their new stimulus proposal, and Ted Cruz is kind of throwing a wrench in their plan. So basically the way it works out is the Republicans have 53 members that they in the Senate that they could vote for something, and all they need are 51 senators to vote for something. For example, their skinny stimulus proposal, which is a $500 billion stimulus plan that does not include second stimulus checks. So Ted Cruz is saying that he wants to expand school choice, which is basically a way to put more funding towards private school, charter school, and less money towards public school. And he's saying that if he doesn't get any votes on that or more support on that, then he is not going to vote for the skinny stimulus proposal by the Republicans. Now, the Republicans haven't yet passed any proposals on their own. This is going to be their second one, and they haven't passed anything yet. The reason why is because they're not unified. They have many different Senate Republicans like Ted Cruz that don't support anything stimulus related at all. And even Mitch McConnell is in support of second stimulus checks. So they're trying to make a skinny proposal so that more Senate Republicans can support it. Now with Ted Cruz putting a wrench in the plan, they were originally going to vote on it Wednesday because they get back on Tuesday from their 1 month taxpayer funded vacation. They were going to iron out the details and then vote on it Wednesday. Now with this whole wrench in the plan, they're going to have to vote on it the following week. Moving on, the latest state that just got approved for the lost wage assistance program to get that $300 boost is going to be New Jersey. And then the latest ones are also Delaware, Illinois, Wisconsin, South Carolina. Moving on to the jobs report. So if you weren't aware, we actually had a pretty good jobs report that just came out, and people are wondering if this is going to have less urgency for second stimulus checks. So to update you on the numbers, in July, we had 10.2% unemployment rate, and then in August, it dropped down to 8.4%. Mike Pence, even after this good news of the jobs report, which can potentially be bad news for second stimulus checks, he is still in support of second stimulus checks. So he says the White House still wants to send second stimulus checks, which is great news. So even after a positive jobs report, the Republicans are still in favor of second stimulus checks. What he says is nobody wants to give direct payments to American families more than President Donald Trump. We sent those checks to American families. It helped them through this time. And President Trump is now saying that he wants to bypass Congress in order to send second stimulus checks. So for months, President Trump has promised second stimulus checks, generous second stimulus checks. So now President Trump wants to take things in his own hand, just like he did with with the unemployment boost, as well as the eviction moratorium. So what he said is, we have $300 billion ready to go. All Congress has to do is say, use it. I'd like to use it without their permission, but I guess I'm not allowed. We're willing to spend it I'd like to get approval from Congress. There's a theory that I don't have to do that, but I'd rather be upfront and like to get approval from Congress. Then President Trump says, he called on Democrats in Congress to issue a one-sentence approval for him to redirect the funds. So this is probably the best news we've heard on a second stimulus check in a long time, but let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. Do you think President Trump will come through with a second stimulus check on his own and bypass Congress? I'm curious what you think down in the comments below. So as I've said many times on this channel before, the President of the United States does not have control over money, Congress does, and if it was up to President Trump, he would have already sent second stimulus checks already, but he does not have the power to do that. But if we look at his track record, what he did with the unemployment boost, he was able to use money from the disaster relief fund and then use that money to send to people to start up the unemployment system again, which may only last a few weeks, but still better than nothing since Congress isn't doing anything. Then also, if we look at the eviction executive order that he had, I'll admit it, at first I said that this wasn't doing anything because it wasn't helping anything with evictions, but then they were able to find a loophole through the CDC saying that it's bad for the virus to spread if people get evicted. Therefore, there's a new eviction moratorium with the CDC. Now, I'm curious, President Trump is saying that there's the theory that he doesn't have to get the approval of Congress. I'm really curious if he found another loophole to send more stimulus checks to the American people. It's possible. And if you appreciate the time, energy, and research that went into making this video, please hit the like button down below and subscribe for more fast-paced, fact-based style videos like this. Also, another big question would be is how many stimulus checks can go out to the American people with $300 billion with it, which is the number that President Trump just said. So if we look here, this is on the left is the Democratic stimulus proposal with the HEROES Act, and on the right is the Republican stimulus proposal with the HEALS Act. So if we look on the right, $300 billion would give $1,200 one-time stimulus checks to an individual, or $2,400 for a married couple, and then it would give $500 unlimited amount for each dependent. It could be a child and it could be an adult. So if President Trump can get his hand on this $300 billion, maybe some loophole we don't even know of yet, then that could be how we get these second stimulus checks and completely bypass Congress. Moving on, now we have North Carolina, which is giving $335. So the way this works is it is called the Coronavirus Relief 3.0, and it's giving $1 billion in spending to parents of children 17 and younger, and it's going to give $335. And these are called extra credit grants, and they could be sent out by December 15th. And that is all the stimulus news I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time. If you want to support the channel, free way to do so, hit the like button, subscribe, comment, all those type of things really help out the channel. Also, back by popular demand, here is the tip of the day by my 7-year-old daughter, Bella. She loves doing these, and thank you for all of the positive comments supporting her. She wants to just make people smile, so here's that clip.
Hi guys, I want to tell you the one thing that you can do to yourself. Be kind, be smart, and also you have to be kind to your mommy, your daddy, or your brother, or sister, or anything that you want. And also you have to be kind to yourself. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!
The stock market took a little dip last week, but if you want a strategy that can give you a consistent return regardless of what the stock market does, I recommend clicking this video over here. It goes over the best investment strategy that even Warren Buffett recommends. I go over it in this video over here. It's on my second channel, Wise Sense. Or if you want more second stimulus check updates, you could click this playlist down over here, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.